Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm deviating again from what I said I was going to put up. This will be a collection of mainly slide lamps, and prompted by a telephone call today, well, not a telephone call, a text today from my friend about these particular slide lamps. He was showing me a few that he has, and I said, oh, yeah, well, he was showing me a box which I let him have. And I said, oh, have I got any more? And he said, yeah, of course you have. You've got a blooming great box full of them. I said, oh, have I? I didn't know. Anyhow, he described this box, and yeah, he's right again, as normal. I have got a box of them as well. So, you know, these will be taken over when I visit him in a few weeks' time. I thought I'd mention them to you as well, because he has put a little video up about, well, in general, telephone type lamps, which he included these wedge type lamps from various places around the world. As I say, this particular type of lamp did seem to vary from country to country. They were basically the same, but they did vary in the actual size of the lamp, physical size. Some of them were much thinner than ours. Some were constructed a bit differently, but they're all basically the same. Let's see, I can pick up one here, and just a typical one, made by GEC. On them, the name is always on that strip along there, and the English ones were colour coded. As you can see, this one has got a white and blue colour code. It's lamp number 2. Number 2 was a designation, I think, that the post office or the GPO at that time used, and referred to that type of lamp. Number 2, and this one is 45 volts. So the lamp itself is a 45 volt lamp. If you look at the filament, it's a fairly long filament in there. And you can see it very, very well. Anyhow, every colour donates a different value. Perhaps some of the most common ones, which I used when I was in the telephone exchange, was this grey one. These were, this one was made by a company called GI Lamps. I think it's General Instruments. And on the other side you had this number 2 again, which number 2 referred to the post office. And you've got 6 volts. For some unknown reason, the camera's not very well focusing. Don't know why. Anyway, 6 volts. Got various colours. He was actually telling me about a box of red ones. I said, oh, I don't know if I've got any more of those, but it seems I have. And they're in the box here, so he can make up a box of those for his actual collection. This I'm going to read direct from the lamp rather than through the lens. It's Ediswan A52. Now that, I think, refers to the year. Ediswan A52. On the other side, yep, number 2, 12 volts. So we have a 12 volt lamp there. And looking at the filament, I'll try and bring it in there a bit closer. It might not show up, but I'm looking at it, and it's a carbon filament. Yep, a carbon, one loop, but made of carbon. And that's on that red one. I don't know whether they're all the same. Yeah, that one is as well. I didn't realise that. Yeah. So all those ones. Now this one's a bit different. Oh, it's not. It's orange. See, I'm colourblind. It's orange. Pick another red one up. Is that a red one or orange? I think that says Stella. Stella Holland. So this one was actually made in Holland. Stella's a branch of Philips. Number 2, 12 volts. So it's the ones that are red. I think, in fact, I think he showed me in the box that he had. They were carbon. There's another one there. I don't know whether that's one I've shown you, but that's definitely a carbon filament. Nicely supported as well. An extra support. These side contacts are actually welded onto the metal coming out of the lamps. They're a coppery metal, and they're just welded onto the contacts, the slides. Another one there, that's also by Stella. They've all got number 2, and that's 45 volt with a normal filament. Now I can show you over here we got black enders. And the black enders were a little bit more unusual. They were used on a higher voltage and they were neon. No, they weren't. That one's actually a filament and it's black, so I don't quite understand that. In theory it should be a neon, but it isn't. This one's by Philips Holland. It looks like 13 volts, would it be, or 23 volts? No, 12 volt. This is obviously a different series, it's slightly different. So it's 12 volt, 20 milliamp. It's Philips Holland. Yeah, this one's a slightly different shape, so that was probably used in another country. Anyway, I thought I was picking up just the carbon, just the neons. Well, this one is a neon. See the electrodes there. Made by HIVAC. I think they're a branch now of Chicago Miniature, not sure. It's called HIVAC. They also made lots of valves and things. There's a 28L. Whether the L means long, I don't know, but this particular one has quite a long electrode. The other one I can show you is the more standard type. Which is also by HIVAC. And that's got the normal length of lamp. It's HIVAC and it's got on there 36 something, 36 it. I can't quite make that one out, but anyhow, that is one of the neon lamps. They use those in some applications within the telephone exchange. There's another one here. That's also by Hyvac. So basically the colour indicated what value it was. Here's another one here. This is an old one. This is number 2 again, 12 volt Edison 90, well it's 43. This lamp is actually older than me. I turned up in 44. Go on and say it, old so and so. Yeah, I am quite old. Probably the oldest member on Lighting Gallery. So, you know, yeah, I'm getting on a bit. And my mate is the youngest member on Lighting Gallery, we think. So, you know, it just goes to show. Another number 2. That one's by Mazda. TLM. I don't know what that means, but it's dated 73. That's number 2 as well. We've got a green one. Number 2, that's 4 volts. There is probably written somewhere, and I believe I have seen it someday, what the actual colours represent. So anyhow, that's a few of these out there. Now this one here was a neon. I'll tell you what this particular type was used for. On certain alarm clocks, electric alarm clocks, well bedside clocks if you like, they used to have a little glow inside them, and it was done by a neon lamp. And I think that was one that came out of one of these lamps. It's completely black, as you can see. And that would have been in one of these little bedside things. It just gives you a little gentle glow at night, so when you woke up and you wondered what the time was, you could look at it and say, oh yes, that's so and so, that's 1:30 or 2:30, whatever the time could be. So there we are, there's the lamps. As I say, these are due to go over to my mate in a few weeks' time. There's a little festoon lamp there as well. So many bits and bobs to find here, it's unbelievable. And I didn't even realise I had this lot. Another neon there. 36A, on there it's got 36A. Is obviously the number. And that I think's Hyvac as well. Let's see, Hyvac. Hyvac. Which I think their place was in Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. And they also took in a company called Vitality Lamps, and previous to that a company called Trivita. That was 2 words, Trivita. And they were lamps that were tested by my uncle because he was a keen cyclist, and they specialised in cycle lamps, so I was told. And my uncle was asked to try them out, and he would put them in his dynamo light set on the bike and would cycle, probably down hills as well, and see how well the lamps actually lasted. Now that's what I was told. It might have been a myth. They may have been telling me porkies, I don't know. But it's an interesting story. And anyhow, I'm going to stop talking now. I'll upload this on YouTube. And yep, my mate was definitely right. He said, you've got a box of these. And I said, what type of box? He said, a wooden box. And I said, oh well. Yeah, a wooden box. As I've said before, he's got a photographic memory, which is a gift. There's no two ways about it. My memory, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. But I do remember things that happened years ago when I was a kid. I can remember trams. I was fascinated by them. I mean the old London trams. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up now. I've been talking far too long, driving you all to sleep. Anyway, any comments please ask, or any questions please ask. If I don't know the answer, I know someone that probably will. So there we are. Thanks again. Thank you.